Hello ladies and gentlemen, how is it going on? My name is Karmir Sodi and today I'm here to talk about my closing letter, which was basically me responding to my initial letter that I did 4 months back, and if you want to look at that, there will be a link in the description. So in this video I'm quickly going to talk about what am I going through right now, what's really happening in the course, my marks, the different units that we learned, were they interesting or not, different things that we did. What else? Let's see, learning experience, learning strategies, and some of the improvements. So first, let's talk about my marks. Let's get to the tough part. Okay, so first, I was not doing as... Okay, you know what? Before we get to the marks, let me just talk about how my experience was throughout this course. So first, I came to the course, oh, hey, I know a lot about biology. I'm not doing good. But you know what, like, I decided to slack off a bit. I'll be honest, I didn't do as much as I should have. So I decided to slack off, not do my work as much. Don't take the quizzes seriously and the tests seriously. However, I did take the assignment seriously though. So I think that was like the top part that actually kept my mark a little bit high, but it was still lower than I expected. So first thing that we did was evolution. And everybody was really excited that we weren't going to have any tests on it. But we did do a lot of quizzes, and they were good. So I decided to slack off on the quizzes as I thought that they wouldn't be as important as tests, because since we had a presentation for that, a presentation would be better than a test. Sorry, excuse me, presentation would be worth more than a quiz. However, there were not like just one quiz, there were more than one quizzes, right? So that kind of really affected my mark a lot, even though I was doing good in my assignments. So which really dropped me down lower than my expectations. I remember talking to Miss Tran about this, and she said, hey, like, you're a good guy, I see you want to try, but you gotta start being more serious. So this was the point that I realized, Carm, you need to stop messing around and actually, mature up a bit, grow up a bit, and take the mature way out, which is studying. Yeah, believe it or not, studying. Okay, so that was my learning experience of the course. Oh, after that, I did a bit better on my genetics and evolution. No, I didn't. I didn't do good. But on the assignments again, I did better on the test and the stuff. A little bit better than my old ones. So that did boost up my mark. And it's somewhat where I want it to be. But I still think I can take that to a bit more. And hopefully with this assignment, it can get it to where I want it to be. So that was basically my learning experience, and what I'm going through right now is very stressful time, and I'm sure that is for everybody, as it is exam times and I have 4 back-to-back exams. So it is very stressful, and you basically get no time to do things. All you gotta do is study, man. But hey, I have my bio exam in a couple of days, and hopefully I will do good. Let's hope. Hopefully that brings up my mark. So that was some of my learning experiences. Let's talk about some courses that we did. So I believe we did 4 courses throughout the semester. Biodiversity, genetics, evolution, and human body, I believe. So let's talk about how each unit was. So for the units, I'm not going to go in much detail because there was another criteria to this to the assignment where I had to talk in depth about each topic, which will be on the website, and there will be one of the tabs there that is there for the concept map for you to look in more detail, and I mean detail. So let's talk about biodiversity. So what did I think about biodiversity and what did we learn? So as I told you before that I didn't take it seriously in the beginning. So biodiversity was the I'm like, I don't like this. My mark is way too low. Can't bring it up. I'm not even gonna do a try. Just give it up. But so overall biodiversity, it was okay for me. It wasn't the best. I didn't try, to be honest. So that's why I'm saying it's not the best. But so in this unit, we learned about nature of science. Nature of life, science, and how what life actually is. So like characteristics of lives, and what characteristics you should have to be alive. And then we learn more stuff about plants, animals, bacteria, and so on. So by plants, I mean like fungi and stuff like that, and animals, you know what I mean. So again, I'm not gonna go in too much detail because it is on the, I believe it should be called the concept map tab on the website. So next unit, genetics, probably my one of my favorite units. Got to learn a lot. So it was really interesting too because I actually this was the time where I wanted to try a bit because I had that talk with Miss Tran. So I actually paid attention in class during this unit and actually wanted to learn it. So I found it really interesting, and I actually learned a lot from it. So I love the pedigrees. I'm a big fan of those. Some other things that we learned were like sex links, inheritance, so like codominance, incomplete, and so on. DNA, chromosomes, some of the malfunctions and the diseases that you can get. I know we did that the mother genetics lab, and that was very interesting. And I remember doing like another story lab where we had to like compare the karyotyping and stuff like that. That was very nice too as well because you actually got to learn a lot. You got to explore different things and expand your knowledge on what you basically had the little knowledge about in class, and then you go home, like do the assignments, and then you learn more. So then the last thing that we learned about was actually one of the most important parts was like the cell cycles. So sorry, I meant like by that I mean like mitosis, meiosis, and how they actually work and what they actually do. Again, I'm not gonna go into much depth on that because that will be in the concept map tab. Excuse me. Oh, about to burp there. Ugh. Excuse me, guys. Okay. So next unit, evolution. It was alright, you know. It was just like a lot of basic common sense, to be honest. This is where we actually just learned about evolution and how it works. So by that I mean like natural selection, like some traits that are favorable for the environment that allow you to survive instead of some traits that are not favorable and which you basically die trying to survive. And major things that we did was like the comparative lab structure. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of work. But again, you try in something, it will. If you do hard work, you will achieve your goal. But yeah, comparative lab structure was very fun. It was a lot of work, but it was fun because you actually got to learn a lot. And we did compare, animal species with like animals with humans, and it was kind of surprising how we all have like the same parts and like, but they're in different shape and how different we actually are. That was very surprising to me. But again, not too much detail. I know I said this more a couple of times. Concept map tab, evolution. Take a look in there. Finally, the last unit, human body. Oh my goodness, favorite one. Love the human body. We learned about respiratory system, circulatory system, and cardiovascular system. Circulatory system with the blood flow. Sorry, no. We didn't do the circulatory system. We did digestive system. So yeah, so digestive system, respiratory, and cardiovascular. So respiratory, breathing in, taking in air, the process of converting converting carbon dioxide into oxygen. Digestive system, eating, breaking up food, then getting it out of your body. And finally, the cardiovascular system was the heart pump, flow of blood from the heart and where it goes, where it's actually made. And that's pretty much it. And honestly, that was like the favorite part of the course because that was something I wanted to learn about because that's what I want to get into. So, it was kind of obvious I had to pay attention in that. So I actually tried, and hey, I didn't do really bad on the quizzes. Remember one time I was gonna, I need to go home because I had something important to do. I went to talk to Miss Tran, and I'm like, hey Miss, I'm gonna be missing class today. Do you know what we're gonna be doing? And there she is. She's like, hey, I have a quiz for you. I'm like, what? Miss, okay, I'll just wrote some next stuff. It wasn't the best thing. But the other two, the one that I did were the digestive and the respiratory were very good. But I'm pretty sure cardiovascular, let's not talk about that. Okay. So again, my learning experience started off really bad, it improved, learned a lot of things, made sure what I actually want to do now. Like, hey, I find this stuff interesting. Why not make a career out of it? You know what? I'm thinking about getting into that. Learning strategies that I talked about was like, doing homework, planning, asking the teacher for help. And were they effective? I think they worked after, but the fact that I didn't follow them is just brutal. The only reason I feel my learning strategy weren't effective is because I decided to slack off. I'll be honest. I decided to slack off. And that is the reason why I'm doing bad on the courses in the first. But now you kind of see that improving because I'm actually trying, for crying out loud. So learning strategies, I feel they were effective after, once I actually tried them as I went home, looked at the PowerPoints, understood what I was learning, and got the most out of it. And I actually learned a lot. So what else do I need to talk about? So talk about marks. Let's talk about improvements. So some of the improvements I think I should have made. Let's see. Not many. I'm just messing around. Yeah, I think there are a lot of improvements that I feel that should have happened but didn't really happen, and I kind of regret that now. Looking back and like realizing this from the letter, like, what in the world were you doing, Harm? Honestly. But some of the improvements, I said I was gonna talk to the teacher for help, which I did not do. I was too. There were many reasons, to be honest. First was I was too busy, in fun, friendly way and in a studying way. So I never considered it was important to ask the teacher for help, which really cost me. Okay, guys, don't worry about the phone. Just leave it in the background. We'll let it ring for a couple of seconds, and then I'll get back to that. But all right, there we go. So where was I? Learning improvements. So again, should have seek the teacher's help. Let's see. When for unit test, did not look over my quizzes. I think I should have looked over my quizzes, to be honest, because that little main idea that you learned for your quizzes was the main idea of the test that I didn't bother to study properly for, and I really regret my mark right now, but not right now, but the mark before, the mark before I had. I'm not gonna tell you my mark. It's gonna be embarrassing. Let's not talk about that. If you know me in person, you can ask me that. But yeah, so there are like a lot again, learning strategy. So one of the major improvement would have been like something that I improved on would have been me actually following my learning strategies, which would have really helped me, and I mean really helped me. But again, now I'm doing this assignment and hopefully boost up my mark. Let's hope. And then exam. You gotta work hard for it, man. And yeah, those are all the questions. So let's just do a little overall. My name is Karmveer Sodi. People call me Karm. Nothing too special. Sure, all you know me. Marks, bad before, all right now. Not what I expect, but I think I can get there. I think I can get there. Different units we learned. Biodiversity, human body, evolution, genetics. Most of them were very interesting, but yeah. And then again, learning experience, good, bad, yeah. Talked about that, and learning strategy, improvements, and all of that stuff. And that's pretty much it. So again, like, this is my, I believe, second last day of the course. In 2 days I have my biology exam that I hope to work hard for, and I will do work tonight and study for that. And guys, if you haven't seen my initial letter video, you can look at that and come back and watch this if you want to learn more, and come talk to me in school. Have a good day.